Hey guys, Dr. DenBoer here, Dementia Doc. Happy to do another video. Again, this is not medical advice. I'm not a licensed practitioner. I'm a former geriatric neuropsychologist who became a business owner and a consultant to businesses in the senior care space. I love doing these videos. Again, consult your doctor, neurologist, neuropsychologist, etc. for medical advice. I've been having some comments and some questions lately about stroke and the relationship between stroke and dementia, and I wanted to sort of elaborate on that. So, again, probably something that's known, but stroke is very different than dementia, although there can be a lot of overlap. So, I think that maybe the take-home message here is that the same things that can cause stroke are the same things that can cause certain types of dementia, mainly a vascular dementia process. So, for example, stroke is caused in a variety of factors, but the health reasons are things like high cholesterol, things like diabetes, things like high blood pressure, heart disease, etc., right? And so all these things occlude, or they make the blood vasculature in the body, but particularly in the brain, but also the arteries that go to the brain, like the carotid artery being one, they make them occluded, meaning that they clog them essentially. So like any pipes, it's not good for them to be clogged, and these pipes, they submit something really important, blood flow to the brain, oxygenated blood flow to the brain, etc. And so that blood containing oxygen and other proteins and minerals that are essential to the body. So if you have a clogging of those things, that's obviously not very good. If it gets really clogged and it bursts, that can lead to a hemorrhagic stroke, which is people typically think of as a massive stroke being, which is that the vessels or multiple vessels burst within the brain, and then blood gets in the brain, and that is blood is toxic to brain tissue, and then it will kill brain tissue, sort of like acid, battery acid, or something like that. And much more common stroke type is called ischemic stroke, and ischemic stroke is when there is there could be a very small blockage, but not necessarily a bursting. What happens is there's a blockage, and then downstream, sort of like let's say a tributary is blocked. The downstream effect of that is that they do not get water. So in this case, the downstream effect is that these neurons that feed the different parts of the brain, this is me trying to make a neuron, there's a blockage up here, and these downstream effects don't get the proper nutrients going forward. So that's another big piece of this, and ischemic stroke much more likely. So how does this lead to dementia? So if all these factors are building up, the other thing that's typically building up in people with heart disease or heart conditions or smokers or poor diet and all those things, poor exercise, lack of exercise, and stress, is this microvascular ischemia that's occurring in the brain. So these very small strokes that are occurring in different parts of the brain, these are vasculature, blood vessels that occur in different parts of the brain. So one big piece of that is I guess I would say this vasculature occurs throughout the entire brain, and it eliminates the brain's ability to be proficient, to be quick. It leads to memory difficulties because these tend to congregate in watershed areas of the brain, like the hippocampal region, the temporal lobe region, etc. And they tend to congregate for reasons we're not entirely aware of. They tend to congregate and go into the connections between the temporal lobe and the frontal lobe of the brain, and we call those the frontal cortical tracts. So anyway, probably giving you too much neuroanatomy here for your liking, but anyway, people that have stroke are much more likely to have not only the symptoms that come along with stroke and the after effects of that, like loss of vision, double vision, loss of bladder, bowel control, paralysis, lack of sensation, and major strokes, etc. But for dementia, What this really, really leads to is just the general lessening of cognitive control and cognitive speed and memory that occurs with arterial malformations and arterial problems. And there's also this fatty deposit that happens called plaque, and we generally term that atherosclerosis that happens in the brain. This plaque causes the brain to rupture, just like it causes any vessel or vasculature in the brain to rupture as well. So I hope this may be a long-winded explanation, but hopefully this could be helpful in helping individuals that are trying to learn about stroke. But the two are highly correlated. If you have a stroke or at risk of a stroke, you are at a much, much higher risk. I think it's like a 30 to 40% increased risk, last time I checked, of developing a type of dementia, mainly vascular dementia. All right, so remember, do these things. Heart health equals brain health. Do these things early. Do these things preventative, regardless if you're at risk or not. All these things are extremely helpful and healthy going forward. All right, thanks. I'll do another video about the dementia trivia that we're going to have again this Friday. All right, have a great day, you guys. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.